coming from me, it offends me that he did a duet with Eminem after all the homophobic things that Eminem said.
Wait.
I think that Elton John is an offensive individual because he did that. That's offensive.
No, I think it was even more
because Eminem is terrible.
You hate Eminem so much. I actually like Eminem. But Elton John is that was just bad for. I think Eminem's very talented.
I think it was worse.
I think Elton John crossed the line.
When the interviewers asked Elton John afterwards why he did it, and then he just said, "Fuck the faggots." I thought that was like Elton John should not have done that. I think that
the fact that he was wearing a Klansman robe at the time is just too much.
I mean, and fingering that baby as well at the same time. It's just it's like he was going out of his way to be the bad boy of popular music, and he actually said that in the interview. He said, "I am the bad boy of popular music. Whose kid is that? Bring it here."
Was he also wearing blackface?
Yeah,
that's popular.
He drew a blackface on the front of the Klansman's hood.
He drew Amos and Andy on each cheek.
Yep.
He drew their pictures. What's a fun thing to do?
And he was doing Dave Chappelle jokes, right? But without the irony of it. And he was saying, this is actually what I genuinely think. He said it would have been funnier in that sketch about the blind Klansman if the Klansman was white, not blind, and meant everything he said. That is what he said, that racist, baby fingering, homophobic, sexist as well, because the interviewer was female, and he said, "Look at your tits," he said. He said, "I'm Elton John, and I'm looking at your tits, and there's nothing I can do about it because I'm gay."
And then there was the whole thing with Gary Glitter where he never did defeat the Ninja Turtles.
How could we forget about that?
I had a funny idea. Here's a fun thing. If you remember the urban legends about Marilyn Manson from the late 90s that were completely ludicrous, like he took a puppy and he held it up before his screaming fans and he said, "I'm not going to play until this puppy comes back with no arms or legs." If you imagine that, but about Elton John.
Oh yeah, everything about that is... Elton John basically started all those rumours about Marilyn Manson to get away with it himself. Because everyone was looking at Marilyn Manson and they said, God, he's a Satanist, he abuses animals, he has sex with teenagers, and Elton John doing it all the time. And he's not even gay.
I don't know if you know this, but
Elton John pretends to be gay so that women get their breasts to him and say, "Can you feel these for lumps?" And he goes, "Cool, can I? I'm gonna do it because I'm gay. I'm not getting an erection while I do this."
To be fair, I've done that before. I've done that.
It's true.
What?
But you have actually done that.
Jonathan Holmes. Jonathan Holmes.
Hi.
Excuse me. Hi, Jonathan Holmes.
Yeah.
Did you know that Elton John... Not
Sir
only
Elton John?
Shh. No.
No, just
Elton
Elton
John.
John.
Calling him Sir Elton John after this.
Whoa.
Elton John, not only did he play Paul in the Wonder Years, he also had 2 of his ribs removed so that he could suck his own dick.
Also, did you know, Jonathan Holmes, about the so-called Sir Elton John, that he once put Richard Gere up his arse?
The whole of them?
Did you know that?
Did you know?
Did you know that?
That Elton John, the so-called Sir Elton John, right?
Well,
who wrote the so-called Candle in the Wind, right? Right?
Yeah.
Did you know?
So-called song.
Yeah, the so-called song on his supposed piano, right? Did you know he was driving the car that got Keenan and Kel killed in that joyride?
Keenan and Kel got killed?
In that joyride in the 90s.
Jonathan,
that's terrible.
Holmes.
I thought they were alive. I thought Keenan or Kel was on Saturday Night Live.
No, that was Elton John. Elton John fucking dressed up as Keenan and Kel. Well, he dresses up as Keenan.
Jonathan Holmes.
And he has a puppet for Kel.
Jonathan Holmes, did you know? Yes. Did you know that Elton John once ate so many little Kims that he had to get his stomach pumped? And Rod Stewart came out, 4 gallons of Rod Stewart in his stomach.
Yeah. Did you know?
Wow.
Did you know, right, that Elton John, right, once poked Lisa Lopez in her left eye, and that is why it was funny?
Lisa Left Eye Lopez?
Yeah, he said,
No.
right. He said, right, you.
I mixed her up with the you
Is
say
that what killed her?
He was like,
you are what I want to.
you're one of them coloureds, and I am racist now. That is what he said. And then he poked her in the eye, and that's why she's called Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Because
Did you know that the
It's
plane,
Kel. Yeah?
the plane
racist then.
that Aaliyah was on was
I forgot she
Elton
existed.
John.
Yeah.
She
Did
was
you
a
know, Jonathan Holmes, did you know, right, that Elton John, right, the alleged singer-songwriter, right, did you know that he was the tunnel that Diana crashed into just so she could die and he could re-release Candle in the Wind and play it on TV at a funeral so that everyone in the world could watch him play? Not that I was watching because they were showing Back to the Future cartoons on BBC Two and I watched that instead. Did you know that?
Have you ever been racially discriminated by Elton John, Jonathan Holmes?
I am not that I know of. I don't think
Actually,
I have met Elton John.
Jonathan,
but-
Why are you such a racist?
Actually, guys, I'm gonna have to bring this up. I've been trying to keep this I'm trying not to mention this because I've been trying to protect Jonathan. But I've been intercepting his mail, right?
My emails or my regular?
No, your actual mail.
Oh, I did. Thank you for protecting me.
Has been writing in glue and then sticking his pubes on it, right? So it's pube words, right? He's been writing Eskimo fuck, right, on a piece of paper.
Eskimo fuck?
Eskimo fuck, because he's just being
it's racist.
ignorant about you. And racist. He's being so ignorant and prejudiced. He wrote Eskimo fucking pubes, put them on a paper, right? And then he's been mailing them to you once a week, apart from at Christmas when he calls you Yuletide Eskimo fuck, right?
We've been tampering with the postal system so that you don't have to see this firsthand, because Elton John is just a hateful man with his pubes.
I was really angry. I don't know why.
He is a hateful, spiteful coward, Jonathan Holmes.
The weird thing about his pubes is they're perfectly straight. They look like cat hairs.
That's awful. Did they stick out, or did they just kind of lay?
I tell you what, his mum's pubis, like a cat, is tabby as well. He's got tabby pubes, and he cuts them out to write racial slurs against you because he is an ignorant man and a hateful man, and he's angry at himself, right, for his decisions in life, like, Kiki D, right, doing duets with her, right, and a duet with Eminem.
Don't Go Breaking My Heart?
Yeah, he's angry at himself for that song, right, because he doesn't like
anger.
it.
Turned
and
outward.
He is radiating the self-loathing he has for himself at other people, and you especially, Jonathan.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know if I can recognize Europe as a country anymore after making Elton John a king, because that was just fucked
Why
up.
do you think I left? I was like, when they made him, right, the king of the Highlands, right? Just
where
like
the Highlands from?
The high places, right? They made him king of the high places and the elves that live there, obviously. And when they did that, I spoke out. I said, look, right, I'm not having this queen of the lowlands, right, where the common menfolk live.
Who's the queen of the lowlands?
Queen of the lowlands, that's
Aaliyah. Queen
Aaliyah of the lowlands. And I led my 10,000 strong army of the men of the land.
Yeah. Holmes, honestly, what part of Hellboy 2: The Golden Army did you not understand?
I thought
they spelled it out pretty fucking obviously.
That's about
Jonathan, why were you letting me string out this really bad attempt at comic
I enjoyed
fantasy?
it. It was a mythology. I was
clear I didn't know where I was going, Jonathan.
No, as you were doing
I didn't know where I was going. Why did you let me carry on?
There will be fan art based on that. That's how good that was.